Hello students, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. Let's take up a new topic which is called as Whistleblowers Protection Act. So what is a whistleblower? Whistleblower is a person who informs about a person or organization engaged in such illicit activity. Let's take an example. Let's say suppose I am a whistleblower. I happen to be working in a firm, a top firm, and there are some illicit activities which is going around, and I happen to be finding out, and I have some information regarding that, and I wanted to make it public. So the person, or in this case me, I am the person who is about to say it in public. So that makes me how the whistleblower. Okay. So this is a kind of an art, like it's a kind of a person or kind of a defined version, if you can say, would be this act of disclosing information about an employee, or it might be organization about an individual or something. So it is a illegal or unethical conduct within an organization. Let's look at some background in this. So there is something called as Law Commission of India, right? So Law Commission of India in 2001 had told to eliminate corruption. In order to eliminate corruption, they wanted to protect these whistleblowers. Why? Because whistleblowers provide a probability or possibility for the government to understand that what is the situation and how can we reduce the corruption. So if we have more whistleblowers, and if the documents which is provided by the whistleblowers are correct, then we can reduce the corruption. That is what suggested by Law Commission of India in 2001. Following this, let's go for about 2-3 years after. In 2004, there was case. This was a case where the NHAI official Satyendranath Dubey, who happened to be a engineer in the NHAI project, the quadrilateral project. So NHAI, we already know, National Highway Authority of India. Now he was an official, he was murdered, and he happens to be a whistleblower. He happens to provide some documents and made it public, and there is some allegations going on, and there was a case filed, and the Supreme Court of India directed the government that administrative machinery be put in place for acting in complaints from whistleblowers till a law is enacted. So this was a machinery. So the Supreme Court suggested the government that we need to place a law in order to protect these whistleblowers. The government responded in the same year, saying that there should be a PID PIR. So what is this PID PIR? PID PIR is nothing but Public Interest Disclosure and Protection of Informers Resolution. So there was a resolution passed by the Parliament. So this government was, in response to the Supreme Court, suggested a resolution which was provided in the year 2004, and this resolution gave the Central Vigilance Commission, which is CVC, the power to act on complaints from whistleblowers. Now let's move to the year 2007, again 3 years ago. So it started in 2001, then again 3 years after, then again came with the 2004. In 2004 there was Supreme Court judgment, and then in 2004 there was a resolution, and now we can move to 3 years after. The second ARC Commission report, the ARC report came, which is Administrative Reforms Commission, second Administrative Reforms Commission. They recommended a specific law needs to be enacted. So this whistleblowers is a entity or an identity which we need to be nurtured in a society. Why? Because there are some illegal activities going on, and if no one is able to come forward and say there is an illegal activity going on in an organization or for a person, because of the powers that person consists of, the country will not develop. The country will always have a corrupted mind people. So in order for that, the second ARC Commission or ARC report suggested to enable to protect whistleblowers. They also specified a law which needs to be done in order to protect whistleblowers. Now let's move to international considerations. In international UN Convention Against Corruption, there's a UN convention where India is a signatory. Okay, but India did not ratify this. India did not ratify at the time, and then in 2005 they suggested to for reporting of corruption by public officials and protect them, witnesses, etc. So these are the things which the convention wants to do, but India has not ratified this. So in 2011 the government decided that okay, we need a protection bill which is called as Whistleblowers Protection Bill in 2011, but it was passed on the year, or it became a law when the president signs the bill. It becomes a law. So when it became a law, it became the law in 2014, which is called as Whistleblowers Protection Act of 2014. Now let's move to understand what are the key features or key highlight features of this act. Number one, it establishes a mechanism to receive complaints related to disclosure allegations of corruption or willful misuse of power, etc. So we can give a complaint. Let's say suppose I am okay. Let's say suppose you are working in an organization. The organization is a very top firm. Your boss has you found that your boss is doing some illicit activity. It could be anything, and you have the documents to prove the same, and you wanted to go with public. So before going to public, you can give complaints to the related people, which is what the act was all about to understand first. Then it allows any person, including a public servant, to make a public interest disclosure before a competent authority. So what do you mean by this competent authority? Competent authority is someone who, let's say suppose you are accusing the union home minister, and then the union home minister has some illegal things, and then the competent authority is the highest person of that. So it will be prime minister. Who is higher authority than the union home minister? It will be the prime minister. So you should give the complaint to the prime minister. So, but the drawback in the bill, which I will come on later as well, the drawback is it should not allow any anonymous complaints. It's not a drawback, but still the competent authority always need to establish his or her identity. So this competent authority may be if it is with the person who is accused or the accused person, if they are collaborating with each other, then the complainant will be having a very big issue. So this was one of the issues which was raised by the critics at the time. And also the maximum time period for making a complaint is 7 years. So within 7 years we need to make the complaint. Now there are some exemptions made in this waiver. So what are these exemptions? Number one, special protection group. So there is something called a special protection group for personnel and officers. So there is a Special Protection Group Act which was constituted in the year 1988. So these Special Protection Group officers does not fall under Whistleblowers Act. Why? If let's say suppose I have a problem with the SPG official and I want to say the complaint on the basis of this act, I could not go. Second, Court of Appeal. What do you mean by Court of Appeal? Let's say the competent authority can make an appeal to the concerned High Court. Okay, so this person, I am a person, I have given to the complaint to this competent authority, whoever it may be. I have given the complaint has been gone to the High Court, and this competent authority can make an appeal to the High Court within a period of 60 days. That is one thing where the exception is made. And also the penalty or the complaint will be punishable with imprisonment for a term extending up to 3 years and a fine which may extend up to 50,000 rupees. So these are the exceptions which was made. Now there are some drawbacks, or there are some cases which I told you like a moment ago. What are these? So Whistleblowers Act overrides the Official Secrets Acts of 1923. Now we need to understand what do you mean by this official secrets act of 1920. Okay, let's say suppose I am an official. I have some valid documents with me, which are top secret or documents, which may be affecting the national security or the sovereignty of India. What do you mean by that? National security data mean if we make this public, it can be dealt further to terrorist, or it can be used by any other organization which has a grudge on India or its sovereignty. So those people can take this information and use this against the us. So official secret acts provide a protection for those type of documents from ever making public. So whistleblower could not give this document to the public, or cannot make this as a public document. Now let's move. In the year 2015, there was an amendment bill which moved. It proposes that whistleblowers must not be allowed to reveal any documents classified under the Official Secrets Act of 1923, even if the purpose is to disclose acts of corruption, misuse of power, or criminal activities. This is where the fault lies. Once there is a amendment bill, if this bill were to have been passed, then what would happen? It would happen that even if I'll have some very corrupted documents with me saying that the person who is responsible is this, they can, the competent authority or the authority can move to the court and say that this is of national security issue, or this is of sovereignty of the issues affecting the sovereignty of the India, and then this should not be ever made public. So this protection has got. This is the major drawback that happened in the year 2050 with the amendment bill of 2050. So it was amended. This dilutes very existence of the 2014 Act. Okay. Now, what are the suggestions that we could make? First one, more foremost, the 2015 amendment bill must be amended because that bill destroys the very existence of the bill or the existence of the Act of the 2014 Whistleblowers Protection Act. Then, if we want to make this very good, then whistleblower protection mechanism will help in ensuring that the integrity of democracy is protected, cherished, and upheld. So, this is all about the Whistleblowers Protection Act. I hope you have all understood the same. Thank you for watching.